Hey guys, this is Chef Chris, and today we are making dark chocolate French macaron. Yes, I did pronounce that correctly. It's macaron, not to be confused with macaroons, those little coconut cookies. But these became very popular a couple years ago. They were in every bakery, every little shop had them. They are a little difficult to do, guys. A lot of chefs fear these, but follow my techniques in my video and you should have no problems. Alright, so we're going to get started. In a food processor, we have got two 2-ounce packages of slivered almonds. Okay, we're gonna make our own almond flour. Now you can find almond flour in the store sometimes. It's actually pretty hard to find, but you know what, it's so expensive. Let's make our own. So like I said, we're gonna put it in the food processor. We're gonna blitz this. Now you don't want to go overboard because it's gonna make an almond butter. We're just trying to finely grind this, just like that. Once we're about this stage, it's still not very fine, so we're gonna throw it through a sieve. Okay, now we're also gonna add 1 cup of confectioner sugar, and of course, no worries, I'm gonna have all the ingredients and the measurements listed down below. So like I said, throw them both in a sieve. And we're gonna go ahead and give it a shake. Now it's gonna be hard for that almond to go through there, so we're gonna grab a spatula and go ahead and give it some swirls, pat it through, finely grind this. Now it's not fine enough. We're gonna throw it back through the sieve one more time. Okay, we want to make sure this is as fine as possible. So at this point, you're gonna still have some morsels, some big morsels that are not gonna go through that sieve. Don't worry. Now, a lot of people say you need exact measurements, you need grams, you need a scale, you need weights. No, you don't. I've done this many times. It's going to come out perfect, guys. Now, my flavor is going to be dark chocolate, so I'm throwing some cocoa in there, okay? But like I said, throw it to the sieve one more time, get it as fine as possible. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen in some shops, maybe on TV, the blue color, the pink ones. All they do is add food coloring, guys. So when we get our wet ingredients started, I'll tell you how to do that. And actually, we're starting with our wet ingredients. So in a bowl, we have got 2 large egg whites, okay? At room temperature. Very important, at room temperature. Now, if you have a stand mixer, of course, use that. I, unfortunately, where I'm at, do not. But we're going to go ahead and get this. Once we get a nice frothy stage, it's time to add a little bit of cream of tartar, okay? That's just a stabilizer. It's going to help stabilize these eggs for you. And we're going to continue whisking, guys, until we get right around here, nice soft peak, okay? Right there is a good soft peak. It's time to add in some sugar. Now we have got, I believe, 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar. I'll double check, but I'll put it down below. Just add it gradually here. Add it, and continue whisking. What we're aiming for now, guys, is a stiff peak, okay? Couple of tricks. The way you know you have stiff peaks is when you can turn the bowl over and it won't fall out over your head. That's an old trick, but right there was perfect. I got a good stiff peak, and it's time to add in our dry ingredients. Now you don't want to throw it all in there. We're going to throw half first, okay? And we're going to start folding this in. Don't stir. You're going to deflate the egg whites. They're going to deflate a little bit, but that's no problem. That's natural. It's going to happen. But give it a nice fold. I'm not mixing here. I'm doing a light little whisk just on top, but I'm basically folding all the dry ingredients in, okay? When you got when you've got it about halfway incorporated, just around there, just about there, looked good to me. I'm gonna throw in the rest of the the almond flour and the sugar mixture, and we're gonna continue folding that, okay? Just fold. It feels a little tough. It feels like you're not gonna get it in there, but don't worry, you will. So after a few minutes, it looks like a nice little chocolate mousse here. Once you see you've got no streaks, no huge white streaks in there, go ahead and stop. You don't want to overwork it, okay? All right, at this point, it's time to put it in a piping bag. Now, here's a little trick. Another little trick is to grab a cup. If you don't have any friends and you're a loner like me, go ahead and just grab a regular Ziploc bag, a cup, and pour it on in there. It's going to make it a lot easier, okay? All right, now we're going to go and snip off the end, and it's time to pipe it on just a nice sheet with some parchment paper, okay? Now we're trying to aim for the size here on about maybe a $50. You're not going to get it perfect, don't worry. At the end, you can fix them. You can put the larger ones with the larger ones, the smaller with the smaller. All right, so go ahead and continue doing this. Now, later in my video, I didn't have time to show you guys, but after we tap this on the counter, we are going to let this sit for about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, undisturbed. Just leave it on your counter. What that's going to do is get a nice film on top. That's going to help it from cracking. Chefs fear this dessert right here because they get cracks. I don't know if I'm lucky or if I'm just damn good, but I never get cracks. Look, I'm giving it a nice tap. That's going to get all the extra air bubbles out of there. And about 2 hours later, it is perfect. I've got that great seal on top. We're going to stick it into a preheated 350-degree oven for only 6 minutes. After 6 minutes, we're going to go and take it out and we're going to rotate it, okay? But look at that. Perfect. We got that beautiful little base on top, which is also called the foot. And they look amazing. So I gave it a nice rotation and go ahead and stuck it back in there for another 5 to 6 minutes, okay? My oven sometimes gets a little too hot, so I knew it takes 5 minutes for mine. 5 minutes later, perfect. No cracks. Amazing. Took them out. Now I like to take them off of the baking sheet, okay? So they can cool down and they don't continue cooking. You don't want that. But while they're cooling, it's time to make a little ganache. I'm going to do a filling. My filling is ganache. You can use anything else. This is just basically dark chocolate, some heavy whipping cream, some butter, yes, some salt. Salt does wonders to chocolate, brings out that flavor immensely. And you guys know me, I love cayenne. Why not add in there? Get a little spiciness with that sweet and saltiness. I stuck it in the microwave just to heat it up for about a minute. Give it a nice stir. I went ahead and sampled it. A little more salt maybe. So I went ahead and added it. All right, give it a nice stir, and we are good. All right, now here's the trick. Because some of your macarons might be a little bit too big, I go ahead and pair them before I'm going to fill them. So the big ones with the big ones, the smallers with the smaller. That just ensures everything looks even. After that, go ahead and give it a nice filling, top them off, and don't put too much, okay? Because when you squeeze it down, it's going to go ahead and disperse a little bit more. Right there was good. So continue doing it. And this recipe will make you about 12 to 15 macaroons, so double it is easily done. But look at that, beautiful, amazing. They were delicious. That's my French macaron recipe, guys. Any recipes you guys would like to learn how to make, let me know. And as always, I hope you guys enjoy.